Are you a dude that wants to get better with his social confidence? You want to get over approach anxiety? You want to be able to confidently interact with anybody in any environment and know exactly what to say? I want to show you guys the exact process to crush your approach anxiety and get you to a place where you can confidently approach anybody in any environment in the next 30 days. And I know that's a bold claim, but just stick with me and watch this video. I will show you the exact structure. And at the end of the video, I'll even show you line by line the exact sentences to actually run a full-blown conversation. So let's start off at the very beginning stages of an interaction. If you are somebody who has zero social confidence, you have high levels of approach anxiety, you can't just go up to a stranger and start an interaction. The very first thing we want to do is just focus on step one. The problem I see with almost every dude out there is they watch so much YouTube content that they got 17 different ideas floating around in their head. They watch a video on how to flirt, how to ask her out, what to do if she has a boyfriend, how to never run out of things to say. And then when you finally go out in your day-to-day and you see the girl standing in front of you, you start thinking so much. You're actually more in your head because of all the content you watch that you don't even take step one. You don't even say hi to the girl. So what I want you to do is actually take all of the pressure off of yourself right now, guys. Like literally don't even focus on having a conversation. For the first week of this process, you're not even allowed to have a conversation. That should actually be relieving to a lot of you dudes. Don't worry about what you're gonna say, where you're gonna take the conversation, what her response is gonna be, what if she rejects you. Fuck all of that. Just calm down, and I just want you to focus on the action step of step one, which is literally giving out compliments or greetings in passing. I don't even want you to think about what's gonna happen if I go up to her and she reacts this way. Take the pressure off of yourself and just say the thing while walking by them. That way, no matter what, even if they respond weird, you're already in passing. You have nothing to worry about. Your sole focus is I'm just gonna take this first step in passing, but you gotta commit to doing that every day. For week one, you're gonna do that 5 times per day, every day. It just becomes a non-negotiable thing. It's not that crazy of a process. It's not that time consuming. They don't even need to be your 10 out of 10 dream women. You just gotta go out into public, anywhere. This could be at the gym, the grocery store, the mall, the downtown area, the cafe. It doesn't matter where, but you wanna start getting in the habit of every single day, I'm the dude who's gonna say something to 5 different people that I've never met before in passing. That is the very first step. You wanna make sure that you're doing this with good vocal tonality, talking loud, holding good eye contact with a nice smile, and project your voice. You're gonna get weird reactions if you say, hey, good morning. Hey, I like your shoes. Nobody's gonna respond to you that way. The whole point of this is there's no pressure. It doesn't matter how they respond, but I need to take the correct, proper first step. And I need to practice doing that every day 5 times. Hey, good morning. Have a great day. Hey, what's up, man? I actually really like your jacket, bro. Have a great day, man. Take care. Hey, what's going on, guys? Good morning. Enjoy your coffee, sir. Have a good day. Take care. Happy Tuesday. When it comes to compliments, it's anything you notice about them. It's something they're holding, an accessory, their clothing, their look, anything you can compliment them on that you see, or if you have nothing to compliment them on, because some guys are like, well, I can't compliment everybody. The people that you notice something about, give them a compliment. That's priority. If you look at the person and nothing comes to your mind, you simply give them a greeting. It's good morning, good afternoon, good evening, have a good day, happy Wednesday, happy Sunday, whatever day it is. Take care. And you say it with a good vocal tonality, nice smile, nice voice. That's it. Now here's the thing. The moment you take that step, you need to congratulate yourself. You need to tell yourself, fuck yeah, let's go. It's very important that after each time you take that step, you're reinforcing the action with positive self-talk, because we're so trained to be focused on the reaction of other people that you'll actually get in your head more as you start doing these things. When you say the thing and the person walks by you and they don't respond, instinctually you're gonna start worrying about their reaction. Oh my God, they didn't respond, I'm a loser, I'm weird, this sucks, this is awkward. It has nothing to do with any of those things. A lot of people will not respond, and that is okay. Now, do what you can to have the right delivery to increase the likelihood that they do respond, but also understand that even with the perfect delivery, there are some people out there that will not respond. They're busy in their own world, they didn't hear you, they have social anxiety themselves, they're not emotionally available, some women are just closed off, other people are just antisocial. It has nothing to do with you half of the time. So regardless, don't take it personal. But also, I don't want you to start training your brain and your self-talk to be dependent on the external reactions of people. that will ultimately lead to inevitably you having a bad reaction at some point, because I promise you someone's gonna give you a negative or a neutral response. And when that point happens, it's really important that you're focusing on the positive self-talk. So step number one is for the first week, at least 5 times a day, you're giving out a compliment or a greeting in passing. Now, once you've gotten over the first 3-4 days, which in my opinion is the most uncomfortable part, towards the second half of the first week, I want you to try to just ever so slightly ramp up the intensity. So you could either start doing this with more women, or you could also try to strive to do it 10 times a day. And honestly, if that sounds intimidating, understand guys, we're talking about maybe 5 to 10 minutes of your day total to say, hey, good morning, to give out a compliment to 5 people the first couple days, and then the second half of the week, you want to progress just a little bit to ramp it up to like 10 people, and at least 3 to 5 of them being women. Now that right there is step one. If you could actually make a commitment to yourself, hey, this is a non-negotiable thing, it's gonna be a little uncomfortable, the first week is always the most difficult, but I'm committed to doing this for 30 days, so I'm gonna do this first step for week 1. If you can make it through that process and positively reward yourself every day as you're going through the actions, you're gonna be in a really good position. Most people can't make it over that hurdle, so just commit to that first part. You make a decision, you write it in your journal every morning, you reflect on it the next day, and you have that positive self-talk, and you bang through that first week. Let's go. Now from there, we're gonna ramp it up ever so slightly. We're still not taking a massive step. The reason dudes fall off with this shit is they take too big of a step, or it's an extremely uncomfortable step, and they're focused on the reactions, and then after a day or two of not wanting to do it anymore, they fall out of rhythm. I want you to take a small step consistently. That's how we're gonna build up your momentum and your confidence. So week 2, we're still starting out with 5 compliments or greetings per day in passing. That will never stop. That is like your warm-up drill to get the juices flowing in public. Anytime you're out, you're at the gym, you're at the grocery store, the cashier, whatever it is, start getting in the habit of giving out greetings or compliments. It's a great way to just build the foundation and to start warming up for the day. Now, once you do that for 5 times, the next step we're gonna do is actually start stopping people. But again, I don't want you to put a lot of pressure on the fact that you're stopping somebody. Most dudes think they're gonna be massively interrupting someone's day because they're stopping them. The most innocent, easy way to do this is to just stop them and ask for directions. All right, it's literally that simple. You just wanna stop them and say, hey, excuse me, do you happen to know where blank is? And I recommend asking them something that's nearby, that they could just tell you you're gonna go there and turn there, or yeah, it's right over by the library right there, right? So it's something simple. If there's a Starbucks nearby or a cafe or a popular food chain, you're just gonna start stopping them and ask them, hey, excuse me, still with good eye contact, vocal tonality, and a smile. You need to practice that part, stopping them, hey, excuse me, do you happen to know where Starbucks is by chance? They will then either say yes or no. If they say yes, they're gonna then give you the directions. If they say, oh, I'm not really sure, all you do is say, yeah, I think it's nearby. I've just been looking for it. I'm not sure where it is. I was wondering if maybe you knew. And at that point, they'll probably say, no, honestly, I'm sorry. Either way, it doesn't matter. They're either gonna tell you the directions or they don't know and you have a little bit of back and forth, at which point you will then still give them the compliment and then eject. Okay, you say, thank you, hey, by the way, and then you give them the compliment or greeting. If you have nothing to compliment on, you say, hey, don't worry about it. Take care, my man. Happy Wednesday. I appreciate your help. Have a great day. And you leave. All right, that's the step. But what you'll learn from doing this is that you can pretty much get anybody to stop if you actually just commit to getting them to stop. Most people will stop and give you at least 10 to 20 to 30 seconds of their time. And also what you'll understand by doing this step is that once you start stopping people and talking to them about the directions, there's a decent amount of people that are actually open to having a little bit of conversation, honestly. And if you notice that while you're going through this step and they're giving you the directions and you have a question you can ask them or an observation you can make or another compliment you can give them, like, by all means, start going for that next step. But your mindset won't change around this until you're doing the step. I used to be extremely scared to stop people. I was so in my head, I thought I was gonna interrupt their whole day. I studied videos for 9 months trying to figure out how to do this, and my mindset wouldn't change around it. It wasn't until I started going out and experiencing it firsthand that, hey, I can actually stop people and a decent amount of them will actually respond okay. It was only once I started doing that consistently that my mindset then changed. So if you're wondering how to get the mindset, how do I get over the anxiety? It's simply by doing the action, and afterwards your brain will then follow. That's the only way around it. You can't read a book on it. You can't watch any more videos. This is the only video you need to watch on this stuff. I'm giving you the blueprint. You're gonna need to go execute this in baby steps now. So for week 2, it's gonna be 5 warm-ups with the compliments and greetings and passing. Then we're stopping 5 people for directions, and then it's either a compliment, a greeting, or an observation, or a question, and then get out of there. Literally take the pressure off of yourself that you're just gonna ask for the directions, you give them the compliment, and you get out of there. Now, as you're doing that for a couple days in a row, you're gonna start to build some momentum. By a couple days into the second week, you're at day 10, day 11, day 12 of doing this thing every day in a row. You're gonna start building up some momentum this way, bro. The self-talk's gonna start getting stronger. You're gonna start showing yourself that I can do this thing, man. And so towards the tail end of the second week, I'd like you to try to push yourself at some point in that week. If there's a girl that you do ask her for directions at some point and you think she's cute or you think she's pretty, I encourage you to tell her that on your way out. As you're leaving, you say, thanks, have a great day. By the way, I thought you looked really nice today. I thought you looked really pretty today. I thought you looked really cute today. Take care. And that will be a massive win. That is a massive win. You need to congratulate yourself. After each one of these, you really gotta bump up the self-talk. Because I can tell you, when you have a very low level of confidence with this stuff, you're gonna be very critical about yourself when you're taking the actions. You're gonna start to try to see all the shortcomings. Oh, but I rushed through it. Oh, but she didn't really like me. Oh, I told her that, but she didn't want to give me her number. Oh, but I did that, but I'm still a loser. No, dude. Fuck that weak, negative bitch voice that's going on in your head. You need to stay focused on the action steps that you're taking. And each time you do this, it's a massive success. It's a massive win. All right, understand that before you started going through this process, you were the dude that did nothing, right? So don't get in your head that in week 2, you're not getting a phone number because 2 weeks ago, you were literally just a dude on the couch afraid to do it. You need to acknowledge the win every single day. And that's why I encourage you guys, in the mornings, write in your journal the action you took from the day before and acknowledge, was today a success or was it like, what did I do good yesterday? Well, I opened the 5 people. That's a massive win. I just need to keep going with this consistency. I did get in my head a little bit, but I stayed positive and I pushed through. And I'm committed to doing this for 30 days. Fuck yeah, let's go. Right? You gotta track that stuff and acknowledge the wins and hit yourself with the positive reinforcement. And it's very important. I'm gonna keep stressing it throughout this video because understand, if you don't inject that positive self-talk, all you have by default is the negative self-talk that's gonna come in. You need to counteract the negative self-talk by manually injecting the positive self-talk as you're going through this process. This is literally how you will rewire your brain to get over approach anxiety and become socially confident. Now that we're 2 weeks into this thing, our social confidence is starting to rise up. And if you're a dude watching this, do not fast track this. Do not do one day and think you're ready to go into the next day. You need to go at this pace. You need to take time to build a solid foundation with each step. You don't just try to build a house on a really shit foundation. Take the time and build the consistency. And you can't try to blast through this in one day. You don't skip 5 days and then cram it all in on 2 days. You gotta do it every day. The consistency is what's gonna create the new identity. Now let's move into week 3. I'm gonna introduce you guys a slightly different concept. We're still just baby stepping our way through this thing nice and slow. But in week 3, we're still warming up. 5 greetings or compliments in passing. By now, if you feel good and you wanna go even further with it, I encourage you to do so. You wanna bump it up to 10 or 20? Honestly, go for it. It should be getting a little bit easier to give greetings and compliments. And I encourage you guys to do that whenever you can, wherever you have an opportunity to do so. So that is still the warm-up, minimum 5 of these. And now, instead of stopping and asking for directions, I just want you to stop them and say, I actually have to get going, but I just wanted to say blank. All right, that is what's known as a false time constraint. We are letting them know off rip, I actually have to get going. And the reason we do that is it takes the pressure off of ourselves and it takes the pressure off of them. It's letting them know, hey, I'm not gonna stop here and keep talking to you. I actually have to leave, so don't worry. But it's also less pressure on yourself because you're like, no matter what happens, I'm about to leave. So all I need to do is say this line and then I can eject. And that is actually pretty relieving. So if at any point in this process you're thinking, oh my God, this is pretty nerve-wracking, catch yourself in that moment, calm down, bring it back to the goal, and just understand, I just need to say this one line and then I can leave. And it's a massive win. And it's a massive win. That's all you gotta do. So you go in, you do your greetings, and then we're gonna go and say, hey, excuse me, I actually got to get going. I just wanted to say, and then you're going to either give a compliment if it's a dude, or if it's a girl, you're going to give some level of intent. So a dude would be, I just want to say I really like your shoes, just want to say I really like your jacket, I like your hat, I like your tattoos, I like your watch, I like your dog. Whatever the thing is, take care, brother. And if it's a girl, it's going to be, I just wanted to say I really like your look. I thought you looked really pretty. I thought you had a very interesting look. Honestly, I thought you looked really cute today. Have a great day. Take care. And you walk away. And that's all it is, okay? And again, we're slowly moving up here. So if you're watching this part and you think it's kind of nerve-wracking, it probably is nerve-wracking, but that's only because you didn't do week 1 or week 2 yet. So this is gonna be a concept that you need to write down and stick to this process. You may need to go back and rewatch this video multiple times as you work your way through this thing. All right, and as I'm going through this, if you're like, hey, this is a little overwhelming, I don't know if I could keep up with this whole process. If you want help with this structure, join my new coaching program down below. There's a daily live coaching call. There's a one-on-one onboarding call. There's a community. You can get live demo of all these concepts. I will slowly baby step you through this process for an extremely affordable price. You can get into the community down below. The price is going up. You can check that out. And that's going to be the end of week 3. That brings us into the final week. At this point, you'll actually notice that your perspective on being social is going to start to change. And the beautiful thing at day 21 is that you'll probably even go out of your way to start doing this stuff, even outside of just your social challenge session for the day. That's what I noticed. When I committed to doing this thing every single day, by around day 21, I found myself just being more social in my day-to-day. Like if I was at the gym, or if I was at like a yoga class, or if I was wherever, I would even go out of my way to interact with more people outside of my scheduled time to work on my social skills. Right? So by day 21, your mindset, your confidence, your perspective on things are going to start to change. And also, you're not going to feel as weird about stopping people, because 5 times a day for a week straight, you've been stopping people. So your brain will start to realize that, hey, some of those people that I actually stopped, I could have kept the conversation going with some of them. You'll notice that if you do that 5 times a day with the false time constraint, probably 1 or 2 out of the 5, if you're doing it properly, you'll notice that some of them will respond really positively, and you could have actually asked them a question or made another observation, or you could have kept the conversation going. And that actually happened to a client of mine recently. I told him to do this drill, and on one of the girls he went up to, he said, okay, take care. And as he was walking away, the girl was like, wait, what's your name? Like literally, the girl wanted to keep the conversation going. He turned back and he was like, I'm John. And she was like, oh, blah, blah. And he just shook her hand and then ejected. And I was like, dude, like, if she's responding positively, like, you can keep the conversation going. I mean, look, you can just eject at that point in week 3, but understand, some of these people, you'll realize, I could have actually kept the conversation going. All right, and now we're gonna move into week 4. Now that our perception is starting to change on this, we got 21 days of momentum rolling. The next step that I wanna do is not that much different than what we were just doing. We're still doing the warm-ups, 5 to 10 greetings or compliments in passing, and then we're doing the same thing in week 3, except I just want you to remove, I actually have to get going. So in week 3, we said, hey, excuse me, I actually have to get going, but I just wanted to say blank, to now in week 4, we're tweaking it to say, hey, excuse me, I was actually headed that way, but I just saw you walking by and I just wanted to say blank. And you can fill that in with, I thought you looked really cute. I thought you had a really interesting look. I really like your look. I thought you had a very intriguing look and I wanted to come meet you really quick. Okay, so you pick any one of those lines and then you will simply ask her a question after that. That's all. You're just gonna say, how's your day going, by the way? And be prepared, because they might just say, oh, it's going good. And at that point, it might be on you to just talk a little bit more. But at that point, understand that you just went from a dude who could not say anything to anybody to now getting comfortable giving compliments and greetings and passing, to stopping, asking directions, to then stopping, getting their attention, giving a compliment and ejecting, to now stopping, displaying intent and asking a question. Congratulations, if you can do that consistently every day, you will develop a high level of social confidence that is literally a superpower that most men, 99.9% of men, cannot confidently do that on women. And I just showed you the roadmap that you could go through over the next 4 weeks to completely change your life with this. And as promised, since you made it to the end of the video, if you want to know what to do from week 5 and beyond, I want to show you guys a very simple step-by-step sentence structure that you could actually extend the conversation into the first couple of minutes. So it would be stopping the girl, saying something like, hey, excuse me, I was actually headed that way, but I just saw you walking by, and honestly, I thought you looked really cute. I wanted to come over and say hi. You can use any one of the 4 opening lines that I just mentioned. Now from there, the next easiest topic that I like to talk about is I will bring up the girl's ethnicity. And the easiest way to do this is, what ethnicity are you, by the way? Or if you have a decent idea of what she might be, you could then describe it. What ethnicity are you, by the way? Because I feel like you're probably either blank or blank. You're probably either Middle Eastern or Latina, or maybe you have like some type of like Indian. I can't really tell exactly. Wait, what ethnicity are you, by the way? Or if you really don't know, you just straight up ask her, what ethnicity are you, by the way? So that would be the first piece. Now the girl's gonna give you the answer, and what you could really do is you talk about that topic for a little bit. So if the girl says she's Colombian, I might say, oh, I've actually been to Colombia before. I was in Medellin about a year ago. I might even talk a little bit of Spanish with her. If she's Indian, I would say, oh, no way. I actually wasn't gonna guess that. I initially thought you were blank, right? So you can talk about whatever ethnicity she is, even if she's something plain and simple. You can even just have a joke about that. That maybe like, I kind of figured that's what it was. I was just kind of like curious though. So it's just like 100% that. So you just talk about the ethnicity until you can't talk about that anymore. You'll then transition to, how's your day going, by the way? And this is the part where understand that she's most likely just gonna say, oh, it's going good, right? If you wanna elaborate, you can make an assumption about what it looks like she's doing. How's your day going, by the way? Honestly, I just saw you kind of like sitting here on the park bench enjoying the sun and eating your ice cream. You look like you're having a really chill day. Or honestly, I just saw you walking through the mall. You look like you're so relaxed and just like casually shopping, enjoying your Sunday. Or whatever it is, she looks like she was walking down the street and she just came out of a business meeting and now she's excited to go home and relax for the day. It doesn't matter what it is, but you ask her how her day's going and you can elaborate on how you think it's going. At this point, the girl will then tell you how her day's going. She's gonna ask you, what about you? Or she might say it's going good. And then it's on you to carry the next little bit of the conversation. So you just talk a little bit about your day. Oh, it's going good? That's what's up. Yeah, I actually just got on lunch break. I was working all day in the office and I just needed to get out the apartment for a little bit, at least get some fresh air, walk around, get some sunlight. It's such a beautiful day outside. Right? You could just say that. If you want to spice it up, inject more flirtatious, you can also add some contextual flirting. You say, yeah, I was actually just getting out of the office. Wanted to get outside for lunch, get some fresh air, some sunlight, and some steps in, and then I saw this cute Colombian girl walking by and I was like, oh, she actually might be cool. Let's go say hi to her. Right? You could inject that too at this point in the conversation. That would be like a second level of intent. Might be slightly more advanced, so just depends on what level you're at, but as promised, I wanted to show you guys a very easy structure you could do. Now at this point, we're at least 1 to 2 minutes into the interaction, and what I would typically do next is make an observation about the girl. There will be something that has stood out to you up till this point. It's the way she answers the questions. It's something about her personality. She's bubbly, she's happy, she's fun, she's relaxed. She has a unique piece of clothing on. She has tattoos. She has a unique accessory. There's something about her hair, something that you notice about this woman. I will then point out that thing and make an observation about her. It could be her height. It could be she seems young, she seems mature, she seems youthful, she seems energetic, she seems bubbly. So you point out an observation about her and you talk about that thing until the thread dies out. Now at this point, we've been talking for at least a minute, maybe 2 minutes. Some of these women will actually ask you a question at some point in this conversation. That's a very positive indicator of interest. Other women won't. They might just answer the questions and you have a little bit of back and forth. Either way, we've been talking for at least a minute, maybe 2 minutes now. At this point, you could go ahead and do a name introduction. You shake her hand, you look her in the eyes with a nice confident smile. As you introduce yourself, you ask her what her name is, you say it's a pleasure to meet you. And now we just want to elaborate on the situation. If it's very low interest and you're at your peak, you can eject out at this point. Or if you want to practice to push it further, you can keep the conversations going. If the girl seems to be responding enthusiastically, I encourage you guys as practice to try to stay in the conversation as long as possible. If you can get to a 3, 4, 5, 10-minute conversation, no matter what, just start practicing going for the phone number or the Instagram towards the end of the conversation. And that would sound something like, hey, we should grab a drink, or we should grab a bite to eat, or we should grab a coffee sometime if you're down. Right? And if she says yeah or no, it's all good. This is the structure you could practice to run a full-blown conversation, guys. I'm literally giving you the entire roadmap here. All you need to do though is consistently move through the step 1 week at a time. Take daily action, build your way up, work on the self-talk, track your progress, and then once you get to a point where you have a full-blown conversation, practice this structure. Very simple but effective conversation structure that can actually convert into a date. If you guys want help fast tracking this process, I understand it is kind of complicated, but I wanted to lay out the whole roadmap for you. So if you want help with this thing, click the button below, join my new coaching program. Comes with a 30-minute one-on-one call initially with me. I'll sit down with you and customize out the first week or so of the program, the goals we should be focusing on, some social drills. I'll assign you a tiny piece of content that we should be working on. And then you have access to the entire community. You have all the modules at your disposal, the live demos, and a daily live coaching call directly with me. You can join on my live coaching call every day to get live coaching about how you're going throughout this process. So the accountability, the structure, the guidance, the community, it's all there at your fingertips for an extremely affordable price. For a couple dollars a day, you could get into this program right now. Click the button below because the price is incrementally going up as the community fills up more and more. I have to raise the price. It's just too cheap at this point. For the amount of value I'm delivering, I'm going all in on this community, guys. So click the button below, get into the group while it's still at the price it's at. That's all for this video, guys. Peace out.